green card holder held by ICE for 2 months thought that we were safe. A green card holder returning from a family vacation was unexpectedly detained by ICE for nearly 2 months due to a past misdemeanor, sparking concern over the treatment of legal immigrants amid aggressive immigration enforcement policies. If you are interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. A green card holder spent nearly 2 months in detention on deportation proceedings after getting stopped by federal authorities over a previous misdemeanor charge as he returned from vacation with his family. President Donald Trump vowed to remove millions of undocumented immigrants as part of a hardline mass deportation policy. However, concerns have been raised as dozens of cases have emerged of green card holders getting caught in the immigration raids. What to know? On January 9th, Kunal Oberoi, 37, arrived at Detroit Metro Airport with his wife and children after a trip to visit relatives in India. An ICE agent stopped him and questioned him about a 2018 marijuana-related charge, The Independent reported. Oberoi couldn't recall the details of the incident, so the officer took his green card and instructed him to return with a copy of the police report. When Oberoi came back on February 3rd with the requested document, he handed it over to an ICE agent. Shortly afterward, he was taken into custody and transferred to the Calhoun County Correctional Facility, where he remained for the next 2 months before being released. Oberoi legally immigrated to the United States 2 decades ago. He is married to a U.S. citizen, and his children were all born in the U.S. His wife, Brooke Choquette, 32, voted for Trump, and Oberoi backed the administration. Choquette runs a home daycare and suddenly found herself as a family's sole provider and caregiver. To help manage her husband's legal expenses, she started a GoFundMe campaign. "I thought that we were safe," Choquette said in an interview for The Independent. In addition to the marijuana-related offense, Oberoi faced legal trouble in 2011 at age 18, when he was charged with assault following a fight at school, along with a separate charge for property damage. U.S. immigration law classifies individuals with controlled substance convictions as inadmissible, which gave immigration officials a legal authority to detain him, even though he held a green card. The United States Citizenship and Immigration Service states that green card holders are allowed to live permanently in the U.S. as long as they avoid any actions that would make you removable under immigration law. Such actions include committing crimes or failing to file taxes. On April 16th, Oberoi appeared before an immigration judge to contest his potential deportation following nearly 2 months in detention. His attorney, Julian Damon, sought cancellation of removal, a legal provision allowing certain non-citizens to remain in the U.S. despite deportation proceedings. During the hearing, Oberoi expressed his desire to stay in the country to continue raising his family. The judge acknowledged the positive aspect of Oberoi's case, stating, "I always weigh things on a scale, good and bad. In this situation, I do feel that there's more good than bad, and ultimately dismissed the case." However, the judge warned that any future infractions could lead to deportation. Following the hearing, Choquette made a 6-hour drive with her children to reunite with her husband. What people are saying. Kunal Oberoi's wife, Brooke Choquette, on Facebook, "I can't even put into words how awful and heartbreaking this experience has been. A absolute living nightmare." Family attorney Julian Damon told The Independent, "The attitude of ICE after Trump took office is really what kept him there. What happens next?" Oberoi is currently in the process of seeking U.S. citizenship. Now released and pursuing U.S. citizenship, Kunal Oberoi and his family are trying to rebuild their lives, still shaken by the ordeal that challenged their belief in security of lawful residency. That is all for today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.
Green card holders held by ICE for 2 months thought that we were safe. Kunal Oberoi, a 37-year-old green card holder, was detained for nearly 2 months after returning from a family vacation to India. Upon arriving at Detroit Metro Airport on January 9, He was stopped by an ICE agent who questions him about a 2018 marijuana-related misdemeanor. Unable to recall the full details, he was told to return with the police report. When Oberoi came back on February 3rd with the document, he was taken into custody at HALT, a Colon County Correctional Facility, until mid-April. Oberoi, who immigrated to the US legally 2 decades ago, is married to a US citizen and all his children were born in the US. Is a detention shark his wife, Brooke, a chocolate, a Trump supporter who ran a home daycare. Oberoi, who immigrated to the US legally 2 decades ago, married to a US citizen and all his children were born in the US, is a detention shark his wife, Brooke Chapute, a Trump supporter who ran a home daycare and became the sole provider during his absence. She launched a GoFundMe campaign to manage the legal costs. In addition to a marijuana charge, Oberoi had a 2001 assault and property damage charge from his teenage years. These offenses triggered immigration law provision, making him removable despite his permanent residence. According to US Citizenship and Immigration Services, green card holders must avoid criminal conduct to remain in the country. On April 16, Oberoi appeared before an immigration judge seeking cancellation of removal to stay in the US and raise his family. The judge acknowledged the positive aspects of Oberoi's life and ruled in his favor, dismissing the operation case, but cautioning that any future infraction could change his status. His wife described the ordeal as a nightmare, while their attorney attributed to the prolonged detention to stricter ICE practices under the Trump administration. Oberoi is now pursuing US citizenship in hopes of securing his future in the country.